Got it. And done. Alrighty, y'all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here at Morocco at Northwest of Maxim. How are you? And I'm here, first of all, saying happy Holy Venus degree to you all. And I'm saying that with my magnificent and beloved brother in whom I'm well pleased. I hope when I go and do the edits and I'm pointing down, you're still in the square that's down, bro. Because I remember I pointing other videos like, oh, he's not even over there in the finished product, but it's all good. Wherever my brother is in this square.
Happy Venus degree. I am Brother R. all rights reserved.
Yay, yay. Alrighty, y'all. I'm in the kitchen, alrighty, and because me and my baby is cooking it up. However, before I get this flour all over my hands and making these tortillas, I and Brother R. Bey are going to go with our invocation in term, the Moorish American prayer. I'm going to do the Moorish American prayer. He's going to do the first letter to be read in every meeting, and then he's going to do the second letter. I'm going to do the second letter and to be read in every meeting, and then we're going to go in. Brother R has wants to really make sure, like, hey guys, like, should the blind lead the blind? Like, really, should the blind? Do you really think about that question? Should the blind lead the blind? And identifying hearsay. Those are our two topics today. And Brother R's got a treat for you all. And you guys know how I am. I'm just going to add in my, infinity cents instead of 2 cents, right? Add in my sense of whatever when it all, because me and Brother R, we go in on this jurisprudence stuff. I and my bros always go in on the astrology. This is not some fly-by-night stuff. I'm so thankful. Shout out to Mother Ras Mariah V. Bey for, and I'm going to say, and I'm saying this confidently, for denying me back in 2017, I think, 2018, might have been 2017, when I had proposed to her that, hey, let me organize your astrology workshops. And she's like, nah, I'm good. Right. And she didn't even show up because I still was going to do the workshop, period, because I knew what to do. However, I'm glad. This is where a no has been a great thing for me because it's allowed me to meet and get along with other astrologers, professional, certified astrologers, and also be amongst Mother Rashida Bey. Shout out to Mother Rashida Bey for Great Sale National Association of Moorish Affairs, the only Sayarha for Great Sale National Association for Moorish Affairs. No matter what other groups are out there, I'm not throwing shade. I must tell the truth. So with that being said, being able to really see what we need to have. So things were shared freely with me, and I share a lot of information freely with you all, to the point where the first 2 books I ever got was the Encyclopedia of Astrology and the Encyclopedia of Medical Astrology, one by Nicholas DeVore, the other one by Howard Leslie Cornell. And now I can see there are many people, not knocking y'all, However, when I wanted to do my thing with astrology, I spoke to the people first that I saw doing astrology really great to show my respects because I comprehend our Moorish culture. However, we know a lot of people don't really comprehend the culture, and everybody's still kind of in Negro black colored phase. They may have a turban wrapped around their fez and stuff and don't even recognize that it said those that are wearing turbans and fezzes are going to sell you back into slavery. And some people try to take it like, but no, he means turban or fez. It says turban and fez. And this is a lawman speaking. So when the Sharif is speaking, then he means turban and fez being worn at the same time. All righty. So with that being said, guys, we're just going to make sure that you guys keep getting your astrology, and make sure when it comes to civics, you're really dealing with 7 Hill Star, because not too many people are really up on the jurisprudence gem. Many people are just still trying to go along and get along and figure out how to be better Federal Reserve agents while saying that they're Moorish and stuff. It's like, okay, all right. However, with that, I'm going to now start my screen share. Did I miss anything, bro? Am I throwing shade, babe? Help me out, guys. I'm doing my best to be kind about this, even though I know a lot of people blind are being led by blindness. So anything, I'm open for correction here. All righty. Silence is acquiescence, and that's a positive one. I appreciate you guys on that. That pepper's really getting to me. It's not you, it's me. No, it's not you, it's me. I'm over here. All right. So let me share the screen here. All righty. And let thoueth goeth heareth. And you guys see the Moorish divine and national movements, divine constitution and bylaws. Okay, I see what happened there. Let's go out of that and come back into the iBooks, right? Interessante, right? You know it happens every time, bro. So, but I'm not gonna start lying to you. Tell the truth. There it is, and it's back, right? So, guys, what you see here is the divine constitution and bylaws for the Moorish, actually the Moorish Divine National Movement, Moorish Science Temple of America. But before even the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. You guys can actually see this in the, not this particular one, but you guys get your administrative functions from R.V. Bey Publications. Again, shout out Mother Ross Mariah V. Bey. And she's doing excellent, guys. You see, like, Brother Hasan and the rest of the Seven Hill Star didn't go out there and, you know, start making their, oh, come to us for cards and stuff, and we'll help you with your nationality. We got nationality packets. We can be your general that's consulting and having falls of Moriscos and stuff. But anyway, we won't go there. I'm just being honest again, but I'm open for correction. With that being said, what we do is we stay consistent and making sure, okay, this is already here, this is already that, great, cool, not a problem. Let's keep going with that until it shows that it's not, you know, worth going to. However, again, shout out to Mother Ross Mariah V. Bey for just being consistent and being very giving compliments to Seven Hill Stars, and as far as saying that we are expanding the learning of those that are out there, where so many people that are just doing, what's the word? Fuck shit, respectfully saying. So with that being said, I'm going to go into the invocation in here where we see Prophet Noble Drew Ali handsomely in his Moorish Sharif Fez. All right, he's standing due guard in his Abba. And I'm going to bring Brother R right there to the top left. I'm in the kitchen and it's warm in here. And he's standing squarely just above the Moorish American prayer to our invocation. And I'm going to face east because east is here for me. I'm going to have 5 appendages extended on the left hand, just the index in the middle, extended on the right. And I'm facing east, standing on my square firmly. And I will begin. You guys can repeat after me if you like. Islam, either aloud or, you know, in your heart. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth. I can't hear you, bro. Peace, freedom. I see your lips moving, and justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Amen. And to get to the first letter to be read in every meeting, guys, we are here in administrative functions. Alrighty, pages 84 and 85. You can get this book from rvbaypublications.com. No, 70 Hill Star does not get compensated from, you know, whatever you transact with Mother Ross Mariah, because we're honorable. We've been in honor. We stay in honor. Alrighty, period. You know, make sure my brothers are all safe, not getting pent up against guardrails on the highway. Anyway, with that being said, we're right here on page 84. The following is a letter written by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, 1928, Anno Domini. He commanded that it be read before every meeting, right? And I yield the floor to my beloved brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Brother R. Muwaba Bey.
Islam, bro. Administrative functions, Moorish Science Temple of America, home office, 3603 Indiana Avenue. Noble Drew Ali, founder, Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929. To be proclaimed in every meeting. Dear brother Islam. Need you to scroll up a little bit.
Pardon me.
I am glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim that it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen. They are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that pay their divine respects to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance, and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish Divine and National Movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause. Noble Drew Ali.
Islam. So, with that being said, going here to the second letter to be read in every meeting. This is pages 12 and 13 in the Moorish literature, excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper. You can get this book also from rvbaypublications.com. And as you see there on page 12, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, again, standing handsomely in his Moorish Sharif fez, alrighty, in his abah, standing due guard. Alrighty, so with that being said, reading the second letter to be read in every meeting, Divine Warning by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical, agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets and the internet, right? We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member, because I'm really saying, like, we are not tolerating any member or group who hold malicious, any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant, and the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the laws laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And it's so beautiful, man. Every time I read this, you know, my mind, I'm pretty sure all the brothers at Seven Hill Star, because we think past the Negro black color that just want Moorish benefits type mindset. We can actually see the Astro-Masonics and what's actually being said, which I think sometimes makes certain people probably look at us like, oh, they think they're better than. No, it's just that when you're being yourself, you are better than. You don't have to even think it, because you're just being yourself. And when you're being yourself, you're being better than most people in the world who are really just being Federal Reserve agents because they want to make sure they look like they're keeping up with the Joneses and oh, they're taking care of my family this way. It's like, are you being led by blindness? And that's when I'm just going to come here, stop the screen share, and just yield the floor to my brother Aura as I ask the question, man. I mean, please, wherever I was out of order just now, please correct me in front of everyone for the record. You or my baby can correct me. I have no problem with that at all.
Personally, I think that everyone should work on being the best. You know what I mean? So
we're the best.
Right. And one feeling like they're the best doesn't mean that they look down on others. It doesn't mean
exactly.
It doesn't mean that they think
yeah, because I wasn't sure, baby.
They think lowly of others. It's just that they realize that on the road to mastering self, some beings have come further down that road than others. Everyone's not at the same level. Are we
Islam.
are we supposed to lie and say we're on the same level to spare your feelings? I think not. So, everyone needs to acknowledge where they're at and work on being better, no matter what no matter what what level they're working on, whether it's mental, physical, or spiritual, we can always improve, right? Never stops. So yeah, today we're talking about the blind.
I'm in full agreement with what you just said too, bro. I am in full agreement. You just gave them chapter 9 in a whole nother way. Solving sums. Because never is 7 Hill Star ever. Any of us. Oh, we're better than you. We recognize when people could have spoken to us, but they wanted $300 for a consultation. Or people could have spoken to us, but they were too busy running their sting operation because they're on military instructions to infiltrate, but look like they're helping people rise. But anyway, I yield. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Speaking of, let's just pull up this term real quick.
Am I doing good, baby? I'm trying my best not to seem like I'm throwing shade, because I know when I tell the truth, it could seem like I'm just throwing shade. I'm good though, right? All right, just making sure.
Infiltrate is a verb, 1758, of fluids from in plus filtrate, perhaps modeled on French infiltrate. Infiltrare, military sense, penetrate enemy lines. Attested from 1934, related, infiltrated, infiltrating. So in the sense of penetrating enemy lines, that makes me think of what the prophet was saying in one of those letters where he was saying,
watch your enemies, still Moors.
Yeah, not just watch your enemy. Yeah, you're right, absolutely right. Watch your enemies, Moors. And then also, the ones who thought it was a joke, right? From our side of the nation. That brings us back to last week when I was saying, have you ever seen a European hate on Noble Drew Ali publicly, or like speak on anything negative about the prophet?
I've never seen that. And if any European does say something about Noble Drew Ali, then there's going to be some other European that's going to fucking correct them.
Yeah, and that's why when you read that letter, he says it's been by the same people on our side of the nation. He didn't say, so just be mindful that some people from our side of the nation look at us as the enemies, and they're looking to penetrate, something that was so well thought up that it can't be. Actually, I guess we could kind of bring this up real quick, actually, since we're talking about it, right?
Do your thing, man. This is you got the floor, man. I got tortillas in my hands.
All right, so let's just pull this up real quick. Of course, Harvey Bay got it.
Again, shout out to Mother Ross Mariah. Shout out to the fact that we're sincere Moorish Americans that stay in honor and actually got the green light from our elders before moving forward. And we still don't have a card machine, even though people have come around me like, let's sell cards. And it's like, see how long they lasted? Like, peace out. But anyway, I yield.
All right, so this was also added to the Moorish Literature Booklet, which is a compilation of articles and information published mostly when the Prophet was on the scene in the Moorish Guide newspaper. Thus, many refer to this booklet as the Moorish Guide. I remember when Brother Shakur sent me this PDF, and I read the whole thing nonstop. And then I got it from you after that, and it's like, I love this book right here.
Yeah, bro. Straight up.
All right, so Caveat Emptor is a writing published by Noble Drew Ali, and he says, Moors are men, upright, independent, and fearless, who care for their loved ones and follow the Prophet to a destiny which is not uncertain nor unknown.
Islam.
They are fortified by the impregnable doctrine built upon love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. It is therefore folly at its greatest height for smelly culprits like we smell y'all. You think we don't like? They're they're trying to hide.
We smell your bulletproof vest. No, go ahead. What you saying?
they're trying to hide in the ranks of the Moors, but it's like, you can smell the agents, right?
In the spirit, yeah. I mean, we done had that conversation as brothers, you know, off the record plenty of times. Like, yo, I can smell that shit to the point where it looked like one thing happening, and I'd be like, yo, watch, it's gonna happen in this amount of time, and then it happens, and I'd be like, see, told you. But that comes from watching this shit for 8 years now, watching Moors. Oh, I done been around Brother Taj, and now I got the information he talks about. I don't have to go around these other Moors that been around Brother Taj, but Brother Taj been told people in them videos.
Right.
I have things on the drive, but Hasan's put things on the drive that'll keep you think what I put on there keep you busy for 5 or 10 years, but Hasan's added to it to keep you busy for another 15, 20. Now, once we find that video, I'm pretty sure we're gonna post it, you know what I mean, as an edit on TikTok and Instagram or whatever, and spread it all around, because what I realized, bro, is that a lot of people they're not being aware with what they're buying. In other words, what they're allowing their minds to participate in, because they're too busy being jealous and envious. Whereas the only wise beings that I've actually seen that respected because they respect themselves are my brothers at 7 Hill Star. It looks like a lot of other people are just like, well, if they can do it, me too. And it's like, do y'all even get that the reason why we're doing what we're doing is because we were denied? We got to know. So that possibly if we got a yes, guess what? There probably will be no 7 Hill Star. I yield.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, it'll come back to me, but you know, he says that the doctrine is impregnable, right? The doctrine built upon love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice is impregnable. So you can't
go
penetrate.
ahead, my bad.
You can't penetrate it to do what you think you're gonna do. It's fortified to that magnitude. So that's what makes it folly. It's like trying to stab a bulletproof window. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's folly at its greatest height. Stop it.
Would folly at its greatest height be charging people 300 notes just for a consultation? This is where I'm opening up the floor to correct me again.
No, that's absolutely folly. That's disrespectful. That's actually trying to sell. Remember, justice is not for sale, and this is an impregnable doctrine built upon justice as well as love, truth, peace, freedom. So like justice is not for sale. So when you're trying to sell justice, because you do realize that nationality and birthrights is the sole foundation that Asiatics must depend upon. So when you start putting a price on it, right? You're not supposed to put a price on it. I'm not saying when it's not worthy of their hire, right? But when you say something like, give me 300 notes just to speak to me, like you're acting like a bar member now, right? And
oh God,
we know how just they are, right?
Does the word just and bar actually go together? They're like diametrical antithesis of one another. Think the fuck?
Right. So yeah, that's kind of foul, man. Somebody told you that.
Oh yeah, I mean, but I already knew that was going to come to, because somebody from this particular group whose leader guy just got pinned against the guardrail when the video was sent to me. I was like, oh man, okay, I didn't know yo was tied in with yo. So a few months back, if not even a year or two ago, I was like, yo, because I know they got a mirror session from me. Because a lot of times what people would do, they'll come amongst us because they know that they're really not going to get anywhere with this in the Moorish movement without kind of going through us, because we've been given the green light. Again, I'm not bragging. I'm telling you guys how this shit is going. I mean, you got another group out there that's not telling you, give us cash for a book. I mean, because when you got brothers like I and Brother Ara, we're actually taking you to what cash actually means according to statute. And it's like, oh, okay, you guys are participating in federal agency, right? So it's like, oh, okay. So now what I'm seeing is when I go, hey, bro, why didn't you tell me you had this going on near the Maryland State Republic? I should have been one of the first ones you hollered at. Anytime I see Moors avoid me, especially when they're near the Maryland State Republic. It reminds me when one brother told the fall of the Morisco's leader, that guy that's, from the Marines. And he's like, yo, I asked him, like, yo, why are you not linking up with Hasan? And he was like, something along the lines of, if it's meant, we'll link up or something like that. And it's like he told that brother, he was like, yo, that's criminal. He said, not linking up with Hasan is criminal. Now, if that's a Moor that's not associated with us, but just had a conversation or two or maybe three with me, right? Because there are some Moors that have come and checked me, like, yo, let me come and see how you live in this, and that, and that. And then they get up close on me and then they realize, like, damn, yo, you really about this motherfucking life for real. Like, it's not just some internet shit. And I'd be like, no, it was never that. Even when we do music, like, we really doing this shit. Like, we not really on some, like, prima donna shit. It's not that. What we've realized, though, I and my brothers, and it's my brothers helped me realize even more, and my beloved mother, mistress consort, I am just seeing that some people are just glutton for punishment. They don't care to get it the right way or a less painful way. They want a microwave result. That's what I'm seeing, Baby, am I putting the quinoa mix, the fried, the fried quinoa in the No, all right. So okay, all right. I yield, bro. Go ahead, do your thing. Cash. Oh, so if there's some worse, okay, go ahead. I yield.
Yeah, speaking of cash, I just thought I'd bring it up real quick. And this is 26. I believe Title 26 is dealing with what? Taxes? Let's go to the United States Code.
Yeah, Title 26 is definitely IRS shit.
Oh yeah, Internal Revenue Code, indeed. All right, let's go back. All right, so yeah, Title 26 dealing with tax. Let's see.
Hold on. So are you saying some tax non-obligated? They purport to be tax non-obligated Moorish Americans, but they're asking for cash?
Which is regulated under Title 26.
Wow. So that means that they would then be agents of the fucking IRS then, right?
They're asking for it. I mean, if they're asking for it by that name, especially cash, which includes foreign currency and certain monetary instruments, those are instruments that really only Federal Reserve agents are supposed to handle pursuant to Title 12, subsection 411. So, number one, it says foreign currency. So it's, I was just thinking about invasion, how they say to protect, the people from invasion, right? In the Constitution. Mm-hmm. So they actually define invasion as imposing foreign law contrary to the Constitution. So when they do stuff like this is invasion right here. And we were just talking about infiltration and
correct,
right? So it's funny because this is infiltration right here. Because those are unconstitutional. They violate Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution for the United States of America. We all know that, right? If you don't know, look up Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution for the United States of America, wherein it states that gold and silver coins shall be the only thing used in order to pay debts, right? So cash is foreign currency, right? So that is foreign law. I mean, I guess you can say that it's not foreign law because it's a United States code, but they're implementing foreign currency as how would you say it? As the main the monetary system, right? The Federal Reserve System has become the monetary system of the United States government. Mm-hmm. When they weren't supposed to do anything but coin money, not print, private commercial paper.
Correct.
So, number 2 says to the extent provided in regulations prescribed by the Secretary, any monetary instrument, whether or not in bearer form, with a face amount of not more than 10,000, and it says paragraph 2 shall not apply to any check drawn on the amount of the writer in a financial institution referred to in subsection C1B. So this just makes me think about also how all the banks are actually foreign banking and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So like they have really invaded, you know, the republic structure that was actually operating here. And I just want to bring that up real quick. I'm actually going to go back here. All right. And go back to what Noble Drew Ali was saying. He said, they try, but their own bad planning brings down wrath upon their heads like the sword old. Well, let me go back here. It says, they are fortified by the impregnable doctrine built upon love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. It is therefore folly at its greatest height for smelly culprits with their insidious plans to invade such realm. They shouldn't even try to invade the realm itself, right? That means you don't even have to be trying to claim you're more or anything. When you start talking crazy about the Moorish movement from the outside, you're trying to invade such realm. That's you know, insidious planning, and we smell y'all. So they try, but their own bad planning brings down wrath upon their heads like the sword old Damocles had. Intrigue and scurrilous cunnings find a difficult path to travel within the ranks of the Moors. That's what I was saying. That's the reason I brought this up to begin with. The fact that, you know, it's difficult to travel within the ranks of the Moors. This is so why? Because the Moorish movement has been well planned by Prophet Noble Drew Ali, whose latent powers are abundantly unknown and may be called into action as a matter of defense at any moment. Prophet Noble Drew Ali knows the people within his ranks who are interested. They are vanguard of the movement as the Moorish hordes increase here in America. All of the Moors are active, not passive. A member's interest can only be in one direction, and having traveled over the road years before, the Prophet knows where every member is along the road. A few feet below is another road where schemes work, where traitors grin and culprits bask in the sun. They think they are on the same road with true Moors, but the Moors are high above on a pinnacle where they might view the destructionists as they fall for the last time and their bones bleach in the sultry midday sun.
Well, I said fall of the Moriscos, but go ahead, I yield.
Indeed. Hungry scavengers flying high catch scent, devour and leave crying out, caveat emptor, cast out the dead carcass. The Moors high above see these plotters, purveyors, the worst that exists, hurl themselves downward by their own works as the hawks wait.
Hold on. Hurl themselves down like on a guardrail in the highway?
Yeah.
Just saying. I know, because let me just already take the brunt of it in a we were soldiers kind of way. I'm the first on the battlefield, the last to leave off the battlefield. So with that being said, even though I'm not here to battle, but you know, sometimes, you know, when I say things out my mouth, I realize that sometimes it rubs people the wrong way. Not because that's my intention, that's because their ears are sensitive, because they have heroes in the Moorish movement where there should be none. Only one you should be honoring really like that and like, oh man, that's my hero, I want to imitate him, is Prophet Noble Drew Ali, respectfully. However, a lot of people do not comprehend that. What you say, bro? I yield.
Right. And I didn't see Noble Drew Ali wearing gold fronts with 15 chains on.
I didn't see that either. I don't see him like have his taco meat open in the pictures. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see that either. Like, I don't want to see some man's chest as I'm learning. That's another problem that's out there. You got girls with caterpillars on their eyes. And then you got like brothers half naked and shit talking about, yeah, because I have a divine mission to in the spiritual community to make sure we spiritual. Wow. And it's like, oh my God, it's really happening. It's that scurrilous cunning that's going to lead to nothing. So buyer beware. That's what caveat emptor is Latin for. Buyer beware.
Telling you to do some like, matter of fact, Title 26 telling you to fill out these forms with the IRS. If you don't do it this way, then you know your business is like, you do not comprehend that when you set up a business and register with the state, you're actually becoming a franchisee. of the corporation.
Mm-hmm.
The corporation
Can't tell them nothing though, man. You can't tell them nothing because they know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about. Their eyebrows and eyelashes told them that they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, sister, you know you got caterpillars for eyelashes, right? You know that, right?
Them shits look.
You know your eyelash gonna turn into a butterfly soon. Let me stop. Go ahead, I yell.
They got paintbrushes on their eyes.
Yo, it's like, and I know we probably sound mean to some ears. You know, there's some ears that haven't studied like we studied.
It's not mean. It's not mean. Allah gave you eyebrows and you put eyebrows on top of them. Allah gave you hair and you put hair on top of it. Like
gave you eyelashes and stuff. Now I get it when some people do like a little hinting of it, but when your shit looks like Snuffleupagus, oh hey bird, hey Ernie, that's a problem.
I think I seen the video. I seen the video where the mother had like, I think it was actually a brother imitating how the sisters be having their eyelashes, and it's like they started flapping their eyes and they started flying away.
Basically.
Like, yo, you about to fly away. You got wings on them shits.
They're real fly now, I guess.
So right now I just pulled up rule 601. These are the rules of evidence, the federal rules of evidence, as you see. Now we're gonna show you that for the most part, everything that's on the federal level breaks down to a state level, right? Because the state is always mimicking the federal. So it's not normal for you to see that a state has laws that you don't find on the federal level, because once the federal government, right, the de facto, right, that was overthrown, right, not the republic anymore, but we know what it is.
No.
When Congress enacts statutes, right, they're acting like statutes, right, and they create whatever so-called law, the state government has to comply with that. So this is why you can almost always find a joinder, which we're going to show you here in a minute. But let's really look at, let's see, this is actually Article 6. Let me go back so you guys can see. This right here is the rules of evidence, federal rules of evidence, right? You see Rule 1 starts at Rule 101, the scope, purpose, rulings on evidence, preliminary questions. Use this, go over this, read this. We're not saying start at the beginning and don't stop reading until you get to the end, but you're definitely going to want to at least go through the table of contents. And, you know, if there's something interesting, click on it, read it, start to get familiar with something that might pertain to one of your cases. You know, get familiar with these type of things, not just the rules of evidence, but the rules of civil procedure, the rules of criminal procedure on the state level, on the federal level. These are things that we should be looking at. You know, they say
hold on one moment. Baby, instead of egg rolls, they look more like large taquitos. All right, I yield. Go ahead. I'm listening. Back to federal rules of evidence.
So basically, you know, you should start getting familiar with this. Like I was saying the other day that our Moorish culture demands a scientific standard. Like we're to be reading, studying. I know if anybody's you know, listeners of Tashriq Bey, you've heard him say Moors used to have libraries the way that we have kitchens today. It was like you wouldn't find a house without one. So get your library up. You know, a lot of stuff is free online. I have the rules of civil procedure and criminal procedure. I got that online for free. I didn't go buy. I didn't go spend 200 with some company to get that. So you can
give me, bro. 1 second. My in-laws are delivering a little something, so I gotta go do the man thing and be strong and go get it and bring it in. But do your thing, and I'm all ears.
Okay, I'm gonna go in. All right. So I guess we'll kind of just look at it before we get into the whole witness thing, because I really want to go over that. So while the bros is gone, let's look at the scope, right? So these rules apply to proceedings in United States courts, the specific court and proceeding to which the rules apply, along with exceptions, are set out in Rule 1101. All right, so let's look at some definitions here. We got in these rules, right? Okay, definitions. Civil case means a civil action or proceeding. Criminal case. Criminal case includes a criminal proceeding. All right. Public office includes a public agency. 4, record. Record includes a memorandum, report, or data compilation. This was important. Everyone should know if you're dealing with a case in a court, everyone should know what the record is. And this one of the portions of this title is identifying hearsay. Because what I'm realizing is a lot of times there's hearsay coming out from the prosecutor, or even if you're the plaintiff, there's hearsay coming from the alleged defendant. And then there's even hearsay coming from the one who's supposed to be the referee, the so-called judge. A lot of times there's hearsay coming from that being. We're going to show you. So record is important because one needs to know that it's not about what you say, it's about what you can prove when you're dealing with these alleged courts. So when someone's talking, and then the magistrate, so-called judge, is up there just taking that in as admissible evidence, that's inadmissible evidence. One cannot speak about something that's not verified by evidence on the record. So if one says, well, he did this, objection, hearsay. Why is it hearsay? Because you're saying something that's not supported by any facts or evidence or documents or anything on the record. The record does not reflect what you're saying to be true. So what you're saying, you're just saying it. And on top of that, you're not saying it as a testimony under oath or affirmation. So we'll read these last two definitions, then we'll jump to the witness portion. 5, a rule prescribed by the Supreme Court. Oh, wait. Hold on. What are they defining here? Oh, they're defining rule prescribed by the Supreme Court. Okay. Means a rule adopted by the Supreme Court under statutory authority. And
what authority?
Under statutory authority.
Which means that one would have to be able to follow said rule then by being under statutory obligation then.
Right. If the court is trying to direct someone pursuant to a rule, then they're telling them that they want them to comply according to a rule prescribed by the Supreme Court, which they adopted under statutory authority. So that means that if there is no congressional statute, I know where you were going with it, right? But real quick, I just want to say, if there is no congressional statute, right, that created the rule, then the rule is not a rule prescribed by the Supreme Court. It's actually something made up that they're just trying to use.
So hold on. So that's like how the Uniform Law Commission and the American Law Institute came together and made uniform landlord-tenant rules, the Landlord-Tenant Act, right?
I was going to bring that up earlier. I was going to bring that up earlier because I was saying how the state mirrors the federal, and that if it's in the federal, 9 times out of 10 it's in the state. But I said it's very rare for the state to have laws that are not in the federal. And what you just brought up is one of those instances, which we know there's some trickery going on when the state legislatures are adopting drafted up, policies that didn't come from Congress, from the federal level.
Especially when they don't have an enactment statement at the beginning. So shout out to all our jurisprudent gym loved ones at the jurisprudence gym, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're not going to go deep into that, but the whole Landlord-Tenant Act is really BS. And again, Cruden versus Neal, guys, you guys can't forget this. No man is bound by any laws that are not prescribed by nature, right? No man is bound to the institutions created by his fellow man without his consent. I didn't consent to the Landlord-Tenant Act.
Correct. And then some people would say, hold on, let me play devil's advocate. But hold on, y'all done mentioned stuff about Federal Reserve notes and Landlord-Tenant Act. I mean, how you doing what you doing? Don't y'all ask for a CashApp? First of all, we ask for eleemosynary tuition.
Or bounty.
First of all, you know what I mean? And the reason why I use eleemosynary tuition, because eleemosynary is dealing with alms giving. It's like giving to the quote unquote poor. I know we're not poor. We're just not Federal Reserve agents. So in that sense, I mean, not being a Federal Reserve agent, I don't have the Inquisition currency that most people are thinking that they need to be somebody here when it's all fucking imaginary. However, you want our time and energy, you will exchange via Cash App because it's out of respect of us exchanging energy. That's what that's for. All right. It's like a placeholder, actually. All righty. And also being devil's advocate with the Landlord-Tenant Act. Well, I mean, you got to stay somewhere, though, don't you? You got to live, don't you? Well, we live in our body.
First and foremost.
First and foremost, we don't live in a city, in a county, in a state. Only idiots talk like that. Only idiots speak like that. When I say idiot, I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm speaking law, which I'm hoping it encourages you to go, well, the brother did give us a Henry Campbell Black's Law Dictionary when he gave us free access to Prophet Noble Drew Ali University, right? And we can freely access these books. That's why you got some sisters out here saying that they're, you know, dealing herbs and are medical astrologers. And it's like, did you even come to Seven Hill Star first? Like, really? And I know some people want to hear what I just said and going to try to turn that like, oh, they think you got to come through them to have X, Y, and Z. Who did they go through? Well, we actually were, like I said earlier, respectful and went to the elders and got the green light. Showed that we were worthy of being whom we are, and we're further internationally recognized. You know what I mean? Like, come on, like, let's not even play. It's about time to go for another scholarship. It's that time again. This is how we do at Seven Hill Star. We're not your on the next highway Moors, as Brother R said.
The highway Moors, right?
Yeah, we're not about to sit here and tell you guys follow Seven Hill Star. We're the only ones. No, we're actually in honor. We're going to stay in honor, and we just kind of sit back sometimes and just laugh when people get, you know, pinned against guardrails, or they see that their, you know, infiltrating military leader has them, you know, on the highway holding flags and shit. And it's like, if we all got the same instruction, then how come Seven Hill Star does what they do? And we're consistent. And we dare you to try to prove us wrong at all times. However, idiot, right? Brother brought it up in Campbell Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition, PDF page 956. If you subtract 76, it's what? What's the page down at the bottom when you subtract 76 from 956? Say that again.
880.
880, right? So now with that being said, right?
Let me make sure. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when you subtract 76 from the PDF number, you get the actual page number. So with that being said, idiot, a person, and we already know person is dealing with the entity. When you're talking statutory person, you're dealing with an entity. You're dealing with a company, a business, something that's statutorily obligated, who has been without understanding of his nativity. Well, it seems like we'll be then speaking about a natural being, but
from his nativity, like, so since manifesting, you just have had no comprehension whatsoever.
Oh, so you've allowed yourself to stay a person then. I got you. Okay, got you. I'm listening.
Yeah, a person who has been without understanding from his nativity. So you were incorporated when you manifested, and then you stayed incorporated and you didn't grow. Your body grew, but your mind didn't.
Beautifully put, bro.
And whom the law therefore presumes never likely to attain any. Yo, if you don't have understanding and you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, in law, they're looking at you like, they're never gonna get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're fucking fodder. They're fucking food. It's
Oh
like,
wow.
well, hold on. You can't talk about all people like that. There was a time where you didn't know. I don't think so, because we end up being that which we have karma from our last past life.
Look at what it's telling you to see.
It says, see insanity. 1 USC 1.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
1 United States Code 1.
I'm gonna go back over here, but yeah, no. And that's state versus Hannah. So when we say idiot, it's not, oh, he's trying to demean somebody. No, we mean idiot pursuant to state versus Hannah, pursuant to Jones versus Commonwealth. Okay, we talking jurisprudence. All right, so now you guys know what a record is. The record includes a memorandum, report, or data compilation, right? So when you're dealing with a court, they have a record, right? Should be a court of record. If it's not a court of record, you probably shouldn't be there. You're actually at a train station. You're about to get railroaded.
Choo choo.
So let's go back. That was just dealing with the scope. I kind of had just clicked on that while you stepped away. We're actually going to look at 601. 601. Competency to testify. Okay. So it says, every person is competent to be a witness unless these rules provide otherwise. But in a civil case, state law governs the witness competency regarding a claim or defense for which state law supplies the rule of decision. Let's keep going. 602, need for personal knowledge. All right, this one's I guess one that you should write down, memorize. Stop letting these people talk. If you do find yourself dealing with some case, stop letting these people talk when they're not. First of all, let's look at 603 real quick. Oath. When they're not under oath. Before testifying, a witness must give an oath or affirmation to testify truthfully. It must be in a form designated to impress that duty on the witness's conscience. Exactly. Remember, that's what I was telling you when I spoke to Raul from the power company. I'm putting this on your conscience because you're trying to make merchandise out of me. You want me to be a slave, or you want me to break the law, or you want me to do both, and I'm not doing either.
And most people don't realize when they're transacting with Federal Reserve notes or any other instrumentality, so to speak, pertaining to the U.S. Corporation, they don't realize they're breaking the law because all debts are to be incurred and taken care of by Congress. Not you.
Indeed. So, need for personal knowledge. Okay. Say, somebody issues a bill of attainder, right? Commonly referred to as a traffic ticket. Say, you're new to all of this. You go, you show up, and there's this guy, this man or this woman who's standing here representing the state. The state was not there on the side of the highway because the state is a fictitious entity. The man or woman who's standing at the table representing the state, who's also the plaintiff, right? The state being the plaintiff, the man or the woman who's representing the state behind that table speaking on that side has no personal knowledge, none whatsoever.
None.
There's a need for personal knowledge. So a witness, when they get to talking, hold on. First of all, are you trying to testify under oath? If you're not testifying under oath or affirmation, guess what? It's hearsay. Objection. Hearsay. Inadmissible. Hearsay is inadmissible in court, which means what? Anything they say that's hearsay is not going on the record. Period. It's stricken from the record, so it can't be used against you. So a witness may testify to a matter only if evidence is introduced sufficient to support a finding that the witness has personal knowledge of the matter. So even if that attorney wanted to take the stand and say, well, yeah, he was driving, and he was on this road and he was traveling north, and one of his passengers didn't have a seatbelt. And how do you know that? You don't have personal knowledge. You weren't there. You can't say anything because you can only testify to a matter only if evidence is introduced sufficient to support a finding that the witness had personal knowledge of the matter. You have no firsthand knowledge. You have no personal knowledge. Okay? Evidence to prove personal knowledge may consist of the witness's own testimony. But again, that witness has to testify to the fact that he had personal knowledge, like they were there. Oh yeah, I seen him steal it. Like I was right there. I watched him grab it with his hand that appeared to be attached to his arm and his body, and he put it in his pocket that he was wearing his pants. I seen him, and then he walked out the store, never transacted for it, which again wouldn't be. We're not going to.
And the one, hold on. So, and what you're also pointing out when you're saying that, because it sounds like you're describing larceny, right? If someone was saying, oh, they were shoplifting, larceny is only for those that are under contract and oath. So larceny is only for federal agents. The common people, even though in common law they would call it theft, it is not theft because they're still not working when they're going to just get groceries for themselves. Now, we're not advocating. These are some of the things that we say, I am Brother R, and those of us at 70 Hill Star. Shout out to those at the Jurisprudence Gym, Mother Malika, our sons Keith and Bobby, and we're saying that respectfully because they're Albion's sons, right? And there are others that are there too that really, help and participate, not knocking you guys or leaving you out. You know who you are, and we love you. We love you all because you all add to us being inspired to share further with you all. So just shout out to all you guys, because at the end of the day, we all get to have like anywhere from 70 to seem like lately it's been like 80 of us all in there. But normally it's only like 4 to maybe 6 of us that are actually speaking up while Malika's actually conducting the meeting, right? And it just really just lets me know that, when we're looking at these things and analyzing them, and these are the things that when you were claiming your nationality early, any of you more is out there, you're like, but it just seems like there's more. Why isn't this being said over the, live or on the record? Well, you got to think too, we have no oaths or obligations to any orders. So we're not just going to say things just to agitate yourselves because we're not under obligation actually still. We cap not. That's why we wear fezzes. Right?
Capeth noddeth.
We capeth noddeth. All righty. So with that being said, with that being said, and wearing our fezzes and not wearing a cap, that means we're not actually in captivity and can't really speak about anything. We only got a certain, enclosure to speak about. You see what I'm saying? We can only include these things. No, we can speak about it all. So we're not also saying go out there, get away with murder and taking stuff from people. We're saying your spirit has to be in the right place, because if you go out there thinking you should do anything based off of what we said, you're going to find yourselves pinned against the guardrail with 10 brown shirts on you. You're going to find yourself out there trying to travel and go camping, and then you're going to have people holding flags and shit.
That's why I wanted to add real quick. It's not the same if a private man is out there selling mangoes so he can provide something for his family. If you take a mango from him, that's theft. But when there's a business that is registered with the state, that is a franchisee of the government, and the government is not supposed to be charging us for anything.
Correct.
So that's why you go into the grocery store, yes, you should get whatever you want at no cost. And they damn sure shouldn't be telling you to stop at a cash register and give them private commercial paper.
Correct.
In violation of the supreme law of the land, and telling you to break laws. And then when they tell you you have to do this, you must transact for the basic necessities of life that you need with Federal Reserve notes. You're telling me I must be a slave, because the only way to acquire those is by someone who's already enslaved in the workforce, right? Who already
under oath.
Yeah, you're out there begging them for some Federal Reserve notes, or you yourself go in contract to have that foreign currency provided to you, which again is merely a promise to pay. These people never been paid in their life. Never been paid in their life. never been given gold and silver as compensation for their time and energy, ever. But steady telling you, you must pay with this, you must pay with that. That's foolishness.
Super foolishness.
So again, a witness may testify to a matter only if evidence is introduced sufficient to support a finding that the witness has personal knowledge of the matter. Evidence to prove personal knowledge may consist of the witness's own testimony, right? This rule does not apply to witness expert testimony under Rule 703. That's something different. You have to go read that for yourself. Now, I really wanted to pull up this one, and then we'll get into the joinder. And then I don't know if you want to do anything else. We'll probably be able to yield after that. Let's see. This right here, 605. Okay, this is a good one. Judge's competency. Now, these so-called judges love to talk. They're not supposed to really be talking.
Islam.
The only thing they're supposed to be talking is, okay, the cause of action is burglary. All right. The plaintiff is so-and-so. The defendant is so-and-so. Let's verify that they are who they're being presented as. Let's verify, everybody has their representation or they're presenting themselves. Let's verify the complaint. Everything gets verified. That doesn't really even take any talking there. Then she looks at, okay, the cause of action is this. What evidence is on the record to support this cause of action? All right, I'm looking at this evidence. All right, now what is the opposition's evidence to oppose the cause of action and the evidence? And she looks at the defense, right? And then she goes, oh, okay, it is or it is not. When they start talking about what they say, so-and-so stated that you're a resident. Like, no, hold on. What are you talking about? There's nothing on the record, that reflects what you just said. And while you're speaking, making statement from the bench, you're trying to testify from the bench. Why don't you get down from the bench, take an oath or affirmation? Oh, because you can't do that. So
you can't do that.
Yeah. So be quiet when you're on. You can't do that from the bench either. Rule 605, judge's competency as a witness. The presiding judge may not testify as a witness at the trial. A party need not object to preserve the issue. You have to say, objection. I don't want you to. No, they're not supposed to be doing it. Period. So when they do it, file complaints. That's like the matter of fact, that's like the magistrate judge in the federal court case talking about, you need to sign using your real name, the one that's on your birth certificate and social security. Okay, you made 3 statements that I have a quote unquote real name that is not the appellation that I'm using, that name is on a birth certificate and that name is on a social security. Is there a social security birth certificate that for a fact is tied to me, and then I'm using some fake name or something? You just made these statements from the bench, from your chambers or wherever you're typing up these orders.
Mm-hmm.
How are you making these statements? The record does not reflect it, and the other party hasn't filed anything on the record to reflect that for you to quote that or point to that. So you're trying to testify from the bench. You can't do that. Learn how to identify hearsay. That is hearsay that the judge is trying to speak on. When the prosecutor says, he was driving in the state of Nevada, and no, how are you saying that? You have no firsthand knowledge. You filed nothing on the record. In fact, the only thing that appears to allegedly be on the record is some bill of attainder, commonly referred to as a traffic ticket, which was not even provided by the prosecutor or the plaintiff. It was provided by the police department, the ones who hired the one who actually has the firsthand knowledge. Mm-hmm. So again, judge cannot testify Don't let her make statements from the bench that are not supported by the opposition's filings or by something you filed. If it's not on the record, they can't talk about it. They cannot talk about it.
Got him.
Let's see. All right, so let me show you the joinder, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so dealing with NRSs, right? Nevada Revised Statutes. We're just doing that since that's the occupying state near myself. All right, so right here, this is chapter 50 is dealing with witnesses, okay? And this is NRS 50, right? It starts at 50.015. 50.025 is already speaking on lack of personal knowledge. Now notice how this is identical to the federal rules of evidence. Okay? 1, a witness may not testify to a matter unless A, evidence is introduced sufficient to support a finding that the witness has personal knowledge of the matter, or B, the witness states his or her opinion or inference as an expert. 2, evidence to prove personal knowledge may but need not consist of testimony of the witness. Okay? Oath or affirmation. Before testifying, every witness shall be required to declare that he or she will testify truthfully by oath or affirmation administered in a form calculated to awaken his or her conscience and impress his or her mind with the duty to do so, right? 2, an affirmation is sufficient if the witness is addressed in the following terms. You do solemnly affirm that the evidence you shall give in this issue or matter pending between and shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Assent to this affirmation shall be made by the answer, I do. Okay. And again, dealing with the so-called judge, competency, judge as witness. 1, make this nice and big for you guys.
Good and big, yeah. We don't want to make clumsy, foolish, stupid, and big, so let me stop.
NRS 50.055, competency, judge as witness. 1, the judge presiding at the trial shall not testify in that trial as a witness. Don't let him talk. Don't let her talk. Don't let him talk. Probably shouldn't even be in there if you're not a federal agent who agreed to be sued in a certain way.
Correct.
Under statute, you didn't agree to operate. And the reason we're saying that you have to be an oath-taking contracted federal agent is because Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution for the United States of America specifically states who Congress can make laws for, who Congress can make rules for. It is for the government. It is for the land and naval forces.
Mm-hmm.
It is for also those who want to volunteer. They're not going to discriminate. You want to, oh, you didn't take an oath, you don't got a contract, but you're volunteering, come on in. Right?
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to let you just come on in.
Oh, a juror shall not testify either. So, you know, don't let the jury members talk either. Right?
Islam.
You got anything else for him? I think we can yield so we can go ahead and catch this class that just started a couple minutes ago.
I mean, it's up to you, bro. I mean, we can, because I go front. I enjoy watching Brother Taj's class, so I don't mind that at all. I just don't support those that I know will allow people to come on their platforms and speak against Prophet Noble Drew Ali, speak against the movement. You know what I'm saying? Speak against what it is that we've declared and proclaimed, being in honor and staying in honor. You know, there's no disrespect to the lady that calls herself the doctor or whatever. You know, you can't even hear her Tuesday presentation without the music that I did for her. All right. So, with that being said, you know, we're just going to continue doing what we do in influencing the people positively. However, yes, I mean, even though, you know, like I said, we're in our feds, you know, I still don't mind because our foundation is based on the things that was shared to us from Brother Taj. Doesn't mean we're indebted to go to Brother Taj's class. It's just that that's the only time that I'm really willing to look at that particular YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Because I know we're all on point. We're all still on point. You know what I mean? When it comes to Brother Taj and Seven Hill Star, we're on point. Mostly other people are just trying to find ways of slickening being federal agents.
All right, so you know, since we are identifying hearsay, I found definitions pertaining to hearsay. So we'll just go over this real quick, and then we'll yield, guys. You got to know how to identify hearsay. Did I not say don't let them speak? What does it say right here? C, hearsay. Okay, first we're gonna read statement. A, statement. Statement means. And hold on, let me back out of this so I can see. You guys see well? All right, there we go. Statement means a person's oral assertion, written assertion, or nonverbal conduct if the person intended it as an assertion. B, declarant. Declarant or declarant means the person who made the statement. And C, hearsay. Here it is, guys. Hearsay means a statement that one, a declarant does. A statement that a declarant does not make while testifying at the current trial or hearing. So if you make a statement while and it's not while testifying, that's hearsay. That's why I said they're not under oath. Hearsay means a statement that the declarant does not make while testifying. So you're not making that statement while testifying. That's hearsay at a current trial or hearing. So it doesn't have to be the trial per se. It could be a pretrial hearing. And two, a party, a statement means a statement that a party offers in evidence to prove the truth of the matter asserted in the statement. Right? So you can say, he said that he hit me. And then you don't have no video of that. You don't have no witness other than yourself. You know what I mean? You don't put no evidence in there. It's possible that's hearsay. If you testify to it, then it might be admitted as evidence. But again, you have to have firsthand knowledge. Statements that are not hearsay. A statement that meets the following conditions is not hearsay. A declarant witnesses prior statement. The declarant testifies and is subject to cross-examination about a prior statement and the statement. And the statement is A, inconsistent with declarant's testimony and was given under penalty of perjury at the trial hearing or other proceeding or in a deposition. So again, the declarant testifies and is subject to cross-examination about the prior statement, and the statement B is consistent with the declarant's testimony and is offered, one, to rebut an express or implied charge that the declarant recently fabricated it or acted from a recent improper influence or motive, and so testifying, or two, to rehabilitate the declarant's credibility as a witness when attacked on another ground, or C, a statement that identifies a person as someone the declarant perceived earlier. Right? That's like, you know, you're identifying something. Yeah, that was him. All right, two, an opposing party statement. The statement is offered against an opposing party and A, was made by the party in an individual or representative capacity. B, is one, the party manifested that it adopted or believed to be true. C, was made by a person whom the party authorized to make a statement on the subject. And D, was made by the party's agent or employee on a matter within the scope of that relationship and while it existed. Or E, was made by the party's co-conspirator during and in furtherance of the conspiracy. That statement must be considered but does not by itself establish the declarant's authority under C, the existence or scope of the relationship under D, or the existence of the conspiracy or participation in it under E. So I would say if you're unsure, wow, that sounds like hearsay. Go to Rule 801 and just compare it. All right, does it meet any of these criteria?
Exactly.
And if it doesn't meet A through E, okay, it's hearsay. Or not A through E. If it doesn't meet yeah, right? A through E. No, I'm sorry. If it meets anything from D, A through E, D, A through B, or C to, my apologies, D.
Go back up. I think go back up.
D1, A through C, D2,
Gotcha.
A through E. That's what I meant to say. D1, A through C, or D2, A through E, then it, those are statements, when you're dealing with D, those are statements that are not hearsay, right? If it doesn't meet any of those, then it is hearsay. If it meets these two, these three, or these two right here under hearsay, it is hearsay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then we already know 9 times out of 10 is just dealing with, have they testified to the matter? Sometimes it could be filed on the record as well. But if you know there's nothing on the record to support what they're saying, you need to object and don't let them get away with that slick talk.
Correct. And also remember, for you to even be in that venue, you must be, as my brother said, a contracted oath-taking agent. You don't belong in that venue because even you not being there is a statement. Because that's what he just read there in that rule. In Rule 801, you said, right? You were just reading Rule 801 on hearsay. Is that correct? Did I recall that properly?
We first defined hearsay under 801.
Now look at statement one more time.
Statement means a person's oral assertion, written assertion, or nonverbal conduct.
Or nonverbal conduct.
Right.
All righty. So remember, first of all, the only persons that are supposed to be showing up there are statutory persons.
Right.
And a lot of people can't get past that because they have to admit that they're still caught up under the hypnosis of Negro Black colored thinking.
Indeed.
They really are. They're still caught up under it because they're thinking to themselves, well, these people aren't changing what they're doing. And I said this, and I put this documentation in, and I gave 300 notes to the guy that just got pinned against the guardrail and shit on the highway. Well, it's fine. That's fine. You can do all of that. What you're lacking is comprehension.
Right.
What the spirit of the law is not on your dial plate. So you keep attracting that type fuck shit to yourself. Because you don't know how to keep these people bound, because you want to go, well, yeah, that's cool. That's that Moorish stuff. Now I want to go abandon the platform. And I'm pretty sure we put together, Brother R and Brother Corey, we put together the platform, abandon not. All righty. The platform, abandon not. You can YouTube that, listen to that song. You'll see Brother Taj at the beginning and the end of it. All righty. For the sheer fact, and it's a copyrighted, work also in the Library of Congress. So anyway, with that being said, and copyright office. So with that being said, right, it's like, when are you guys, when are you going to stop being jealous and envious of 7 Heel Star, right? And really allow yourself to figure like, all right, how did they get it? Well, again, I told you, I went to go see the elders. You see what I'm saying? And get the information. You know what I mean? Especially when there was a time you could walk in the building and go to these classes. You see what I'm saying? But I get it. Elders, they got to keep doing their best to get Federal Reserve notes.
All right.
Well, one elder will expressly say energy exchange. So shout out to Brother Taj for being honest. But we already know that being who is presenting him every other Friday, that's an old hustler there, baby. And you guys can sit there and be, oh, don't talk about that. No. The truth is stern. It don't change and it don't pass away. This is why you guys keep getting fucked up out there, because you're allowing the Negro black colored thinking to take hold and precedence in your life when you should be correcting your elders when they're out of line. And the way you can really correct them is by having an election. You know how you push old Moors to the back? You stop supporting them by having an election to electing to go somewhere else that will benefit you more. All righty? That's why the only time we really show up is when Brother Taj is teaching. Just to be clear that the consistency is still the consistency. That's it. That's it. You know what I mean? Seriously. That's it.
Oh, you're on point, bro.
I yield. Islam, you are too, bro. I mean, I know, because there's a lot of people out there, man. And shout out to those that are in the chat interacting also. I think Brother Corey showed up. Mother Sahar showed up. Talib Bey showed up. So shout out to you all. It's so much misinformation from some of these Moors. Yes, it is. It is. That's what Mother Sahar is saying. And that's why I'm saying, like, people will kind of they'll probably try to want to crucify us because we're talking about who the Moors that they think are rising, but we clearly see that's the fall of the Moriscos. All righty. And then, you know, people want to talk about how general the consulating is going. And it's like, I mean, are these people not asking you for $300 for a consultation, asking you for cash for a book that's advertised as a hardcover, but it's actually a soft cover when you get it? Like, I mean, what is that not caveat emptor? Didn't my brother just read that? Is that not caveat emptor? And you guys are still going with the, well, you know, we still got to stick together, brother. That's kind of harsh. No. The truth is stern. It doesn't change nor pass away. When you get out the mindset of being a groupie Moor, all righty, stop being a fucking groupie Moor and really do what I and my brothers have done and are doing, and that's staying in honor. Being in honor and staying in honor to the point where the universe actually conspires in our favor so that we don't have to go through the fuck shit of your hero highway Moors that you have to see deal with things for a whole year. Oh, they were locked down because they didn't follow instruction. That's why Brother Ty said, didn't he have the same information that I have? Like, come on, man.
Yikes.
Come on. And I don't care. Oh, he's so offensive and don't talk. I'm going to send this video to them and show them that you talking about them. And I don't give a fuck. Just know that one of them, I know I can't talk to them unless I have 300 notes. So if you send them my way, I'm going to immediately hang up the phone after I say, hey, man, I don't have 300 in my cash app for you to talk to you, man. I don't want to disrespect the way you do things, you know.
Right.
Got to know that guardrail real well, though. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I yield.
He didn't tell that policy enforcer he needed 300 to talk to him.
I mean, doesn't he wear? I mean, how do you wear a black fez and not do kung fu in the moment? A real kung fu master wouldn't have even been there in that situation. So let alone had 10 people tackle them to the ground. Tackle? Nah, one would have caught a punch, the other would have caught a kick, one would have caught an elbow. Like, you're not. I guess some people wear black fezzes because it just seems important, but it's like, is your mind and hands really that deadly? Mm-hmm. Oh no, I forgot. They got bulletproof vests and pistols on their hips. When Prophet Noble Ali clearly said we don't walk around with as much as a penknife. And I know there were members in the National Guard and the Army, you know, back in the 1920s, over 100 years ago. I get that. I get that. However, you don't want to know what else. You want to know what else I comprehend. I also comprehend following instruction. And you guys really think in any way, shape, or form that what I'm saying is hurting the movement, scattering the prophet's flock, you're sadly mistaken. You would be the equivalent of that idiot on page 880 in Henry Campbell Black's Law Dictionary, page 956 out of 1956 pages.
Right.
You would clearly be an idiot because you are being a fucking groupie. You don't want to respect the prophet. You don't want to honor the prophet. You don't want to honor your ancient foremothers and forefathers because you're looking for a slick way to still have the comfort that you have when all comfort should have been taken care of when Act 1 in the Divine Constitution and bylaw should have been enforced. Congress is supposed to be making sure everybody has what they have. You're not supposed to be like, oh, let me get these Federal Reserve notes and get this. Oh, since I ain't got the Federal Reserve notes, let me take this mansion and do nothing for the community. Like, you guys got to really see it and then pay attention to your elders that may be in captivity.
Right. Think about how do they give you free stuff when they give you free stuff? And how come they can give you free stuff sometimes, but not other times?
Don't let your elders, I'm telling you, some people be throwing signals in front of your face. They can say they just want to be around the people. But sometimes your elders wear caps because they're in captivity. Got to really think about some of the things you guys seen happen since 2018. And that's why what we do is we do our best to check on our elders and make sure they are all right for real. But some people may have done things that we don't know. Period. I'm serious, man. Because some people will refuse to get Social Security, SSI, and things of that nature because they got to stay on principle. Can't capitulate, right? However, at the end of the day, you guys got to make sure that people stay on. People check us, don't they? Why aren't you checking your elders? Check your elders. Hey, I remember when I watched this class, why did you say this here? And don't let them get away with, oh, well, I'm still learning and we're all doing this and everything doesn't have to be Moorish and Moorish nationality. You should be looking for the quickest noose to hang that elder. That's really how it's supposed to go, but nah, y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all don't want to do that. And I'm not saying go out here and hang elders. What I am saying is stop allowing people to be the smelly culprits that they are. And let them know that you're not gonna take it. I'm just keeping it a band with y'all, man. I'm just keeping it a whole band. Because remember, a lot of people can say things behind the camera. They don't say them to our face because we'll more than invite anybody, elders, youth, whatever. I guarantee you're going to get a lesson by the time we're done with you. Because you're going to say what you're going to say out of emotion. And we're going to say what we say out of actual, real study. So get over yourselves. I yield the floor, bro. I already got class planned, I think, a little bit here. Let me see what we got. Melissa Hart says, indeed. She said, see, insanity. Yeah, that is what that said there. I've noticed a lot of hypocrisy with these people. Yeah, of course. Of course, Melissa Hart. That's what it is. Like, even though Moors that we trusted, you know what I'm saying? And was like, oh, okay, well, they're this, then that, and that. That's why I said, like, some elders, I'd be like, yeah, tell a certain elder I ain't mad at them. However, I can clearly see what's happening, though. I ain't mad at them, though. However, our eyes is wide open because we don't fuck around here at 7 Hill Star. We don't. I know we're death angels, but you guys can relax a little bit. You know what I mean? You don't have to be frightened of us in that way. It's just the way it's happening now is when you're not in harmony with what it is that we're clearly in honor with, you're going to suffer consequences and we don't even have to touch you. We could just think about you and you're going to have a problem. Period. Yeah, man, this brother want 300 notes for a consultation. That's not going to last long. It's going to take something to happen to him for them to realize, and oh, look at it. There we go. Like 6, 7 brown shirts. You want to come over here and talk? Come on over here. Jurisdiction. Yo, my baby laughing in the background.
You should have left from that situation with 3,000 notes, because that was about 10 brown shirts and he was charging 300 each to speak to him, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because you can talk to some brown shirts, but you can't talk to your own Moorish Americans that's near the Maryland State Republic too. But then again, near the Baltimore Corporation, we call people from the county bounties anyway. They're not really about that life. They're not You're not from the heights. You're not from around the way for real, for real. That's why you out the county trying to wreck shit for real. And 10 brown shirts. But sir, he's the consulate general. Okay. Sir, you can't do that to him. By his actions. Didn't we just read about conduct here with Hearsay?
Yep.
His own conduct.
Unspoken.
But I'm pretty sure. And we're waiting on it. So don't be mad at Brother Aura. Don't be mad at anybody else. Because you already know, like I said, and we were soldiers, I'm the first one on the battlefield and the last one to take my foot off. Flat out.
They could be mad at me. I don't care. Hey, here's the jointer though, real quick. Just it's been on the screen long enough. I'm just gonna point that out, that this is the jointer to the hearsay section. So you see that we showed you the whole personal knowledge in state law and federal law. Then we found hearsay in the federal rules of evidence. Boom, we take you to the state statutes and you see hearsay defined, almost identical definitions here. Statement is defined as well. Declarant is defined as well. You see general rules, hearsay within hearsay. So yeah, always keep studying, keep reading, make sure you're really comprehending these concepts. And if you had nothing else, why is it skipping? Let's view this image. I'm just pulling one up randomly.
Got to pay attention to when these Moors, especially your elders, will say and do and act like they're supporting anything and will turn a blind eye until a certain amount of complaints are made about someone that's actually donating to them. So that sounds like hush money. That sounds like payola. That sounds like, hey, the host of this YouTube presentation is going to keep turning a blind eye until it's like too many complaints, like, oh, it's too many complaints about this one being that's been donating to us. But did you know that donation money is coming from selling packages? Oh man, but you can't talk about okay. Again, did we not bring idiot up in the beginning? However, I yield. Go ahead, bro. I yield.
Oh yeah, I forgot I was gonna take us out.
Islam, I yield, bro. Let me wash my hands off so I can do my 5 on the left, 2 on the right before I throw the rest of these experimental vegan egg rolls that kind of just look like really awesome taquitos.
Why did the screen stop showing me? Like when I speak, it's still showing you.
Really?
Yeah, for like the last.
No, that's because it's just the 2 of us, bro.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying.
I don't see me when I start speaking.
Oh, I see me. I see you on here with the screen share.
I see you with the screen share. I'm talking with screen share, but I'm actually monitoring the YouTube, and I see you in the top top right hand corner every time you speak.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're good, bro. You're good.
Well, Islam, I'm about to take us out then.
Indeed. And Melissa Hart says, as always, thank you for the information. You're welcome, guys. Want to do the invocation hour, Brother R. Muwaba Bey. 5 appendages on the left hand extended. Just your index and middle extended. We're going to face east and have our feet on a 45, just like Prophet Noble Ali there. And I yield the floor to my beloved brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Brother R. Muwaba Bey.
Islam, I got to put this phone down.
Yeah, bro. Oh, you said hold on for a second. Oh, you got it muted now. Okay, I'll wait.
Oh man, I was doing the invocation already.
Oh yeah, it was muted, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. Repeat after me.
Islam.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
The Father of love.
Father of love. Truth.
Peace.
Freedom.
And justice. Allah is my protector. My guide. And my salvation. By night and by day. Through his holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Amen.
I mean, appreciate you, bro. I sincerely appreciate you, man. Matter of fact, let me give you the host so that when we close on out and you hit the end button, it'll be on you. Thank you all so much for joining. I am my beloved brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Brother Bey. This is the part where we're just going to say namaste in Islam to you all. And we're going to go and watch Brother Taj. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, still care about our elder brother. We just still be like, man, you all right? You know what I'm saying? You ain't in captivity over there too tough, is you? However, with that being said, guys, we love you all. We love you all. We love you all. Namaste. 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 Islam, 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 y'all. Peace and love.
Peace and love, everybody. Happy Holy Day.
Happy Holy Degree.